Hey everyone, my name is David Dunbar, or the theme park evangelist. So I decided to go live today regarding um, the fact that I've been out of Central Florida for about 2 years now, officially, as crazy as it is. Sorry, I haven't shaved yet or anything. I've been trying to wake up for the past 2 hours, as hard to believe as it is. Well, yesterday was my seventh day in a row. So today is actually my first day off in 7 days, as crazy as that is. And I'm just so thankful to actually be able to get some stuff done that I normally like to get done. I have a whole afternoon to get college homework done. I'm able to do some YouTubing today before I get some of the homework done since I've got all this time. I didn't do any homework yesterday evening because I figured, well, since I've got all day today, I might as well spend the evening with my brother. We watched The Office last night, and I took him out for dinner, so that was kind of nice. But anyway, I'm not gonna do the same exact, or I'm not gonna. Let me start over. Yesterday, oh, let me. Wow, I cannot think here. Sorry. Back a couple of minutes ago, I just posted a elaborate Facebook post on my personal Facebook profile, basically describing that I've been living in Florida for about 2 years now, and I went into a lot of detail to say that I had moved up to Kentucky basically to work for Answers in Genesis, and then met, I put a lot of emphasis on the fact that God brought me up here, and I really do feel like God brought me here, for a reason, and that was something I really made clear in my post. But that's not actually what I wanted to talk to you guys about on YouTube. Even though it's true, even though God did bring me up here to work for the Ark Encounter, as specifically as Answers in Genesis, which the Ark Encounter is officially or officiated with, or whatever. I would like to talk more about the fact that you know I'm not in Florida anymore. I'm not doing the exciting vlogs all the time again. You're not able to see all of those exciting YouTube videos from me anymore. Now you have to rely on Out on the Woo and the Tim Tracker and Justin Scar whenever he goes down to Florida. And paging Mr. Murrow. You have to rely on all those guys for your theme park updates, which is fine because they're more major than I am. I mean, I've only got 146 subscribers. I keep adding and losing one like every single week. It's insane. But so I really wanted to talk to you guys about like what would my YouTube channel be like being down in Florida, and how did moving away severely hurt my YouTube channel. I feel like I would like to talk more about that than anything. So let's get right into it. So let's first start. The first question I asked all of you is like, how did moving away let me start over. What if I had stayed in Florida? Well, obviously I wouldn't be as happy because of many, 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 many reasons, which I'm not going to say on YouTube, but I will say this much. If I had stayed in Florida, though, my YouTube channel would be phenomenally better. I feel like I would have probably 200 subscribers by this point, if not more. Leaving Florida incredibly hurt my YouTube channel, and why is that? Because of the fact that a lot of people were watching my YouTube channel because of the fact that I was going to Walt Disney World on a regular basis to do theme park updates. I was going to Universal on a regular basis. I mean, come on, you guys knew me. I was doing a Universal update like once a month. I was constantly going over there to do updates on Velocicoaster. I would have been one of the first ones on Velocicoaster if I had stayed. And with Disney, I was working there for a while, and even if I had left, I would have found a way to go. I would have probably ended up with an annual pass because Disney only ended the annual pass thing due to the pandemic. But if I had quit and I knew my parents were leaving to go to Kentucky and I just happened to stay, I would have bought an annual pass in a heartbeat. I still would have been going all the time. I just wouldn't have had to work for them anymore. Would I necessarily have stayed at Publix? I don't know. That's a great question. Probably not the store I was at, but I would have definitely transferred for sure, even if I had to drive a little further. Like, obviously, I've gotten to the point where I've pretty much predetermined that if I really like a job enough, I'm willing to drive as far as it takes to get there. I mean, sometimes, there's got to be a cutoff, but when I was younger, I was like, do I really want to drive all the way out there? Like, especially if I had to drive past the store. Like, everybody knows I was working at Meijer at one point, and I am now driving past a guaranteed full-time job just to drive all the way to the Ark Encounter. And a lot of people were upset with me about leaving Meijer in the first place because of the fact that not only was it full-time, I was guaranteed a pay raise, and I was guaranteed 40 hours a week. And I had decent health insurance, like really decent health insurance. But I threw it all away because I wasn't happy there anymore. And it's kind of the same thing with like why I left Florida. Like, sure, I wasn't happy there anymore, but at the same time, I ended up ruining my YouTube channel over it. And I knew I was going to be doing that, but I was willing to take that chance in the long run if it came down to it too. I was like, at this point, is it more important for me to keep my audience happy, or am I going to try to be creative wherever I go and try to find ways to keep my YouTube, audience happy regardless? And that was pretty much the big thing that was like hitting me hard. And if I had stayed in Florida, this is obviously we're going to spend most of my time is talking about what if I had stayed in Florida. I mean, you guys know I had so many decent traditions when I was YouTubing in Florida. I mean, come on, I spent good 3 years just YouTubing in Florida alone. 2016 to 2019, at least 2.5 years. It's been about almost the same amount of time I've been YouTubing up here too. This is my 5th year YouTubing, and 3 of those years, or at least 2.5 of those years, I was just YouTubing just strictly in Florida. And by next summer, I think it will be about, I'll actually have been YouTubing here longer. I know that's crazy considering I started my whole YouTube career in Florida. My very first YouTube video, you guys have seen it before. I was at Universal, and I know I've talked about the backstory, but I'm going to tell it again. How I started my whole YouTube channel. I've been watching the Tim Tracker quite a bit, and I was like, I really want to start, my own YouTube channel. I think that would be a really cool idea. So I just pulled out my phone and just started videotaping, and I let TJ know I was going to be doing this, and he was all for it. I didn't really know what I was doing back then. I'll admit it. I just kind of went for it, and it kind of went from there. And I enjoyed it. I really did. No, obviously, it wasn't excellent by any means. In fact, it wasn't even good. It was horrible. My first YouTube was like pathetic. But yet I had a lot of videos. A lot of people were like, wow. And then, of course, I came up with the idea to change my YouTuber name very quickly. I have been on YouTube for 12 years now. But I've always been, well, I should say, for the longest time I was known as Mr. D Dunbar 4. That was my YouTuber name for so many years. In fact, if you ever go to my About section, you find that link. it will say Mr. D Dunbar 4 because that's the username that I came up with when I first started my whole YouTube channel and all that fun stuff. So I kind of went with that, and about a year or two later, I got this whole idea in my head that I was going to do this whole rapping bit, and I did that for maybe a couple of years, and then I started taking my YouTube channel a completely different way. I started doing like made up stories. I started trying to go through this whole voice acting thing. I've always had this very big fascination for voice acting, so I started trying to do that for my YouTube channel. But it wasn't until I started watching the Tim Tracker for the first time back in 2014. His very first vlog I ever watched of him was when he and Jen went on Escape from Gringotts for the first time back on July 8th, 2014, if I'm not mistaken, which ironically, July 8th is the same exact day that the Ark Encounter opened, but that was 2 years later. So the Ark Encounter and Escape from Gringotts, or Diagon Alley at Universal Studios Florida, now had the same exact birthday. I mean, I can Google search it to make sure that's correct, but from my understanding, that is the official date that both the Ark Encounter and Diagon Alley at Universal Studios Florida opened. So yeah, I'm, at Universal. I did that whole vlog, and I just kind of took them off my YouTube channel from there. I mean, you guys have seen what I've done. This, year is, of course, a bigger year because of the fact that this December, I will have officially been YouTubing for 5 years, like I keep saying, because, 5 years is a pretty big deal. So I decided at the very beginning of the year, I would do a highlight of all of my YouTube videos, starting from 2016 all the way to 2020. I didn't have anything for 2021 yet because of the fact that the year had just started. I literally made that compilation video, my introduction video, back in 2021. My introduction video for the longest time was done in my bedroom, and it wasn't a very exciting video. What I have now is way better. I haven't done an introduction video, like a new introduction video, in years. So I was so happy when I finally decided to come around and get a new YouTube introduction video together. And I have a clip from every single year coming up to 2021, I should say 2021. The last YouTube video I decided to show, as weird as this is, was a Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 rendition of Kings Island, because of the fact that I have been going to Kings Island. No, that was my horrible one. I have actually done a much more updated one. I still have not put my more updated version of Kings Island on the internet yet. I have yet to go down there and play the music while I'm doing it. If I could get a little more ahead with my homework, then I would go ahead, because that takes time, unfortunately. But I mean, so does this if it comes down to it. But I had already predetermined I was going to be doing this, versus that I have no clue when I'm going to get around to it. It's like I'm not in any hurry or anything. So yeah, I've done quite a few exciting things on my YouTube channel over the years while I was living in Florida. I've done the whole Pandora thing. I've done a lot of updates on Stars Galaxy's Edge leading up to when it finally opened. That I actually did get to show on my YouTube channel this year. I was like, everything that I had done over the years was leading up to that point. And honestly, I would be going down to, I'm so sorry, Florida in November. Unfortunately, a friend of mine made a bad decision, got on my bad side one too many times. And the funny thing is, I have a free plane ticket to round trip airfare and everything to and from Florida if I wanted. Well, I could really technically use it anywhere. And it's good till the end of April of 2022. So I could either go in November for my 28th birthday, Or I could wait till next spring for TJ's 28th birthday. But unfortunately, this friend made such a bad decision that I decided, well, I would rather wait it out. In fact, that's the reason why I came up with the idea of having another friend come up here to me instead. It's not that I can't afford to go down later this year. Obviously, this summer I can't afford to do anything because I'm A, in debt, B, I'm working way too much to go anywhere, and C, I'm actually getting ready to move to Florence, Kentucky in August. So this summer is just a really bad time for me, but later this year will be much better time for me to do something. So I'm very happy that later this year I'll actually be able to do something. And then as far as like other YouTube videos I've done in the past, 2017 is probably my biggest year for YouTube. I was at Volcano Bay on its actual opening day with TJ, and I did the whole opening day thing. I was probably one of my most viral videos, if not the greatest of all time. Was probably my most viral, and that was roughly about a year ago. As funny as that is, during the whole pandemic. Last year, I know my YouTube channel sucked, and I completely understand. I know that the last Kings Island vlog I did was literally the first one you've seen since December of 2019. I mean, what was I supposed to do like last year? I didn't want to go to Kings Island because of the fact that there was a pandemic going on. I was at least willing to go to Answers in Genesis because of the fact that was a lot closer and I trusted them versus Kings Island. I was like, I think I'll wait it out. And I was like worried that since they weren't a Christian company, how they would be handling the pandemic versus a Christian company. So I don't know. I personally felt like Answers in Genesis has been handling the pandemic a lot better. Give it time, more places are going to start to lift more restrictions. I'm giving it more time. I'm sure that Answers in Genesis will start to remove their social distancing markers completely. I'm sure that Kings Island has already done so. I haven't really gone over there recently to notice that. And the last time I was there, I was more upset about the fact that I couldn't fit on Orion than anything. I also did a YouTube video back a couple of years ago. I think it was in 2018 regarding riding the whole Fast and the Furious Supercharged. I thought it was kind of a big deal at the time. I didn't realize how bad of a ride it was going to be. But, whenever Universal came with a new ride, I would go out there and I would try to go YouTube it. So, anyway, to kind of try and make this YouTube video a lot shorter than I would probably aim for, I guess the best way to put it is I've done a lot of exciting YouTube videos while I was in Florida. No, my YouTube videos are not as exciting anymore, but look on the bright side. You're not seeing the same old from me anymore. In fact, I don't expect to have people say, I'm tired of seeing the same old from you anymore for at least a couple more years. I feel like the only people that are going to have any issues of same old for me would be people who are tired of my at-home vlogs. But you also have to understand that I am in college this year and I'm trying to finish my degree, and then I'll have a lot more time for the out of the house vlogs. Not to mention, years ago when I was living in Florida, I didn't have as much adult responsibility versus I'm living on my own now. I have a lot more adult responsibility, which means I have to work that much more to stay financially stable, which is another reason why I do a lot more at-home vlogs, because of the fact that when I do finally get a day off, I'm burnt out. But I'm good to go by the next day, of course. But still, it's like, yeah, I would love to get out of the house more, but due to being in credit card debt and having all those bills, all those fun adult responsibilities. When are you ever going to have time to do anything like that? So, to wrap up the second part, and the second part is going to be really quick and short. So, the second question, of course, I asked was, how has my YouTube channel changed ever since I've moved up to Kentucky? I mean, quite a bit, as you guys have noticed. I mean, obviously, I'm only doing the Florida vlogs once a year. This year I was going to do it twice, but my friend kind of ruined it for me, so now I'm not going to go. I couldn't even get enough apologies for me to even change my mind at this point. It's called, my friend made the decision that the friend did, and if that's how my friend feels, then fine. I can invite another friend that appreciates me better and who has actually never been to Kentucky before. And you might think, oh, that's okay. Well, technically, my friend Artem Dmitriev has never been here either. You guys might know him better as YouTuber Artem D. I have a lot of friends down in Florida who have never been to Kentucky before, ever. I'm not even kidding. Like, I know it's all. Well, let me start over. I know it's easy to automatically think, oh, it's got to be Kay because you and her are so close. Like, well, it could be, but it could be anybody. I mean, I have a lot of friends from all over. I do have a lot of friends in Florida still that have never been to Kentucky before. I have a lot of friends I would love to show the Ark Encounter and the Creation Museum. I have a lot of friends that would love to see Kings Island. So it could be Kay, but it couldn't be Kay. It's not TJ because the fact that TJ has already been here. So, and I'm not saying who this friend is I'm mad at, but I am going to say this, that, TJ doesn't really need to come up here anytime soon. The only reason why he would want to come up here is just to see all the Christmas decorations, but it's not going to be this year. I'm not saying why, but I'm going to say that maybe in the next couple of years or so, he might be able to come up here and see the Christmas decorations. But this year, I have another friend of mine that I'm already paying the airfare for and paying for motel expenses. No, it's not the greatest motel. I kind of looked online at it last night. I was like, I don't know, but I couldn't even find the I think it was the Quality Inn and Suites. I think I did find that online now that I think about it. I was like, wait. I mean, I don't remember what the name of that motel was over by my old job, but that might have been it. I might be able to switch it if it's a lot nicer because I know Quality Inn and Suites is a really nice motel. So, I mean, I don't know. I saw a lot of bad reviews, but I saw a lot of good reviews too. It looks really nice. I mean, when time gets closer, I might see if my friend would rather stay somewhere else. I mean, I did get a king bed. I figured, my friend should have a nice place to sleep. I don't anticipate upon this friend sleeping a whole lot, since I will give this one hint away. This friend does like to stay up late at night, and that's as far as I'm going with that one. But otherwise, like, that's pretty much the most exciting thing I've done for my YouTube channel since I've moved up here. Is I try to go down to Florida once a year, and I try to do something else. Like, I try to have a friend come up here or something to that extent. I'm constantly trying to go out there and explore. I mean, I've got all of Ohio above me, really. And, there's so much out there. You guys just recently saw I went out to DeVal Park, and I did a whole YouTube video on the museum. I mean, I didn't really show much of it because I was with other people. Well, that's not stopping me from wanting to go back out there. That's something I would definitely want to take somebody to see for sure. I wouldn't obviously want to do it during the winter, just because of road conditions and due to the fact that it's just too cold to go out there. But hey, summer by any means, I would take you out there in a heartbeat. But during the winter, forget it. Like, my friend's coming in December, I'll mention that there's a really nice park out there, I seriously doubt my friend would want to go all the way out there. I have other things in mind for us to do. And it's a really cool place. The only thing I would even consider doing, if it's even open, would be the Crawford something museum, and that would be about it. And then taking my friend all the way over to the Overlook, and that's as far as I would go. But even then, I'm kind of nervous about even going out there, just because I expect the road condition to be even worse out there. It was already bad when I went out there last. It would be even worse in the winter. So that's the only thing that's kind of like making me go, I don't know. But yeah, I try to do like really cool, interesting vlogs every now and then. You guys saw that I went to that really interesting grocery store, which is only about 30 minutes away from me. I try to go out there once in a while. It's called Jungle Gym Zoo. You guys know all about it, I'm sure. I try to go to Kings Island quite often because I live so close, and because I get them for free through Answers in Genesis. Um, you guys know I work for Answers in Genesis, so I try to bounce between the Creation Museum and the Ark Encounter once every month. So I'm showing a bit of both, and I have a lot of people, and the company itself has approved me doing it. So it's not like I'm doing it behind their backs. I mean, they all know I do it. I just wish Ken Ham himself knew I did it, but I don't know if he does or not. But the point is, I'm doing it. I'm doing it for the glory of God, and I got approval, and that's all that matters. And that's really about it. I of course next year I'm going to be starting to do more Cincinnati Zoo vlogs. I'm going to try to go out there and explore more of the area. I would like to drive all the way down to Kentucky Kingdom sometime and go and vlog that. I think that would be really cool. It's all the way down in Louisville, so it would be a long ways down. If I could get people to come up here and visit me more often, I'd be more willing to go out and explore the area. Some stuff I just don't want to do by myself, understandably. Most of the stuff that I've discovered, I discovered with somebody with me, whether it was a family member or a friend. Once I start having more time, I personally don't mind driving even about a couple of hours just to go see something and do it for YouTube, because I think that would be really, really cool. TJ's talking about coming up here next summer. I wouldn't really be able to take the time off necessarily, especially since I'm going out to Tennessee next year, which is my big YouTube video for next year. So even if he did come over here, I would have to take, or I just had to rearrange my schedule so that I could work, but I could still spend time with him. And that way, I could still do the whole YouTubing thing. And maybe the 2 days I'm off, I'll do a YouTube video with him at Kings Island, and maybe we can go out and explore some of the area. Like, TJ, you want to go check this out? I heard about this. Or, I don't know, you wanted to go drive and we'll go find something. Like, I would love to drive all the way down to the Kentucky Music Hall of Fame. I think that would be really cool to see. I would love to go see Colonel Sanders' birthplace. I think that we should hit up both while we're, if we were ever to drive out there, me and him. I would love to go all the way to Columbus to go and see the History Museum. You guys know I've already vlogged the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, so that's something else that I've done that I've never done before. I'm always trying to come up with new, creative, inventive ways to make my YouTube channel exciting. It's like, yeah, sure, you're always more comfortable in your own home. The most comfortable within a 30 to 50. Kings Island for me is comfortable because I'm so used to going out there. So that it's still close enough to home, even though it's like ridiculously far away, that I still feel like, yeah, this is a good distance. And it's just outside Cincinnati. Ark Encounter, of course, I'm used to driving to because I work there. Anything past that, I'm not still familiar with, but it doesn't mean I'm not willing to drive all the way out there. Otherwise, Lord willing, I'll be able to do more interesting, exciting YouTube videos over the future. Until then, I'm about to do another Life as a Working Disney cast member video. I'm not sure if I have any other YouTube videos planned for today. I think this was like my most major one, and then that one, and that's about all I have for you guys. Keep in mind, my next YouTube video is not going to be live. It's going to be pre-recorded, so I will see you guys in my next vlog. And always remember, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. Have a great day. Peace out.